Hi everyone, welcome to Ancestry Unpacked and this week's tip. So a couple of weeks ago I was talking about the tree and all of the different functions within this menu down the side. But one of the things that I didn't really discuss with you was the gallery, so I thought we'd have a bit of a look at that today. And so here we are in the gallery screen. And the gallery here is now called Memories, and it's divided into three sections: the gallery, albums, and stories. So we're going to look at the gallery function today in particular. Now, this gallery is for my Memories in Time project tree. This is a project of basically reuniting things that I have found in secondhand shops. I have in my own supplies that aren't so related to me, and getting them out to as many people as possible. So it's a bit of a hodgepodge of what is in here, and not everything is related to one family tree as such. So this gallery has a variety of different things. As you've just seen, there is photos. There are the backs of photos as well, which can be just as important as the photo itself. There are documents, there are certificates, there are group photos, there are individual photos. So a bit of a mix of what is hiding in this gallery. So the first sort of line of functions that we can do in here are all to do with basically how to put more material into this gallery. The first is the drag and drop. The second is to be able to scan photos from the Ancestry app. So if you've got the Ancestry app on your phone, on a tablet, on an iPad or something like that, you can take that out wherever you are and scan other material, photos, for example, into the gallery. Now that's great if you're out visiting family members where you can't, you don't have the photos they have, or you can't just take the photos away to scan them and scan them at home. You can just scan them on the go. So a really good way of being able to access those photos. And the next is to organize your people. We'll have a quick look at what's left in that in a moment. So the next line down here has some buttons on the left-hand side and a couple of options on the right-hand side. Under the sort on the right-hand side is the ability to sort by date. So at the moment I've got the newest showing. I can swap them around and have the oldest showing, for example. So that's now showing the first item that we added to the gallery. In this case, it was the Allentown School staff photo. I'm just going to go back to the newest. The other option down here is to sort by media type. Now, media includes photos, documents, videos, and a fourth one, which has just jumped out of my mind. So we'll talk about those in a little bit because I'm going to show you another way to look at that. But media type for this is that although there are documents in my gallery at the moment, these are documents that I have scanned. So they are effectively an image file, so they show up as photos. If I had created and uploaded a document such as a PDF or a Word document, they would show under the documents media type. I can also sort A to Z and Z to A, and that is based on the file name. So here's Allentown, Annie, Elizabeth, so alphabetical order. Elizabeth Rhoda Chapman, Elizabeth Watson. So you're seeing those in absolute order. And likewise, title Z to A will do the reverse and bring up the R that is the latest letter in the alphabet in mine. But I'm just going to go back to the default sort of show me the newest at the top. Over on the left-hand side, we have the ability to filter by a person. So this is a good way of finding all the material that you have for a person in your gallery and making sure that maybe you've attached it all correctly to all of the people that are mentioned in it, that maybe you're looking to share those with someone so you can find all of those items all at once, in which case, once you've had those multiple items, you can select them and send them to someone. So down here, it shows you the most recent people you've looked at. So if I look at Ernest Partridge, he has 2 items. If I wanted to then do something with these, like download them, I could select those 2. I could download them. I could create a book from them, or I could delete them from the tree if for some reason I needed to delete them as well. If I just select one item rather than the 2, so I'm just going to select one, I also have the ability to share that. and to rename it. So there are different things that you can do with that select button. There are different things you can do with the person button, but I've got Ernest showing at the moment. This picks up the names of anyone in my tree. So if I filter by, and I can just type in a name. So I'm going to use Elizabeth. This picks up all of the Elizabeths in my tree, whether or not I have something in my gallery for them. So if I try Elizabeth Mary Delahunt, you'll see I don't get any options here because of the fact that I don't actually have any material for her in the tree. So my option is to upload material so that I've got it to add to her as well. I'm just going to go back to my gallery. So within this people, I can also look at the people that are tagged compared to not tagged. So a tagged image is one where the people, so if I look at this one here, this is the Mystery Men's Group photo that I found in a secondhand shop. Some of the men in this photo are tagged, i.e. they are named. So when I hold my mouse over those people, they actually have their name picked up. Some of them aren't tagged, i.e. there is still a who is this. I can also see that down my right-hand side of the screen with who's been linked and who has been unlinked or untagged. The untags in this case are because some of the people in the back of this photo are just described as dad. So there's a good hint on how not to write names on the back of a photo. Dad, me, that sort of thing. Great for this generation, not so great when you go back in the future. So going back to the gallery, I can look at my tagged and not tagged, sorted people, or anyone that I've looked at before for the last 3 people. If I look at date, I can look at photos that have a date against them compared to photos that don't. So I'm going to start with the with date photos. So these ones here, when I have uploaded them, I have been able to put a date to them. Now the documents are quite easy often because they have dates on them. This one here, I have just put a date of about. So this has got an about date. So these dates are found up here when you are actually uploading the media in the first place. If I found a more perfect date for this later on, I could go in and edit it and give it a more exact date later on. So dates and no dates. And no dates, I have a few. This, as I said, mystery photo, no date on this photo at all. May be able to work out an approximate time frame based on the ages of the men that I have been able to identify. So it may just need some further work. So that's a good reason why you might want to use this, because maybe you've learnt some further information. Maybe, for example, maybe you'd uploaded a wedding photo and now you've got the actual date for the wedding because you've bought the marriage certificate or you've found the marriage certificate or you've been given the marriage certificate. So you could actually then go in and add an actual date for that wedding photo. So it's great to be able to just check who haven't I given a date to, who have I not given a date to as such. So let's clear that. You can see I'm using that clear all. The next one across is location. So here's my 3 most recent locations that I was looking at. Again, if I start filtering this, so maybe I want to use just Ashburton. So this will come up with the options for Ashburton. So this is just like any other search of location. This one is in the Ashburton area because it's this particular school. So this is the one that came up. And again, this is because if I look at this image, I have given that as part of the location. So Ashburton, New Zealand fell within that Allington School location that I've put there. Now that location could be useful because maybe, for example, you're going to visit this place and you later on want to go and look at houses, churches, other things that have been located in that area to find how this family and where this family lived. And then also we have a filters button. Now the filters button brings up some of the stuff that we've already seen and some that we haven't. We talked about media types before. Audio was the one I couldn't remember. So you have photos, documents, audio, and video. So you can bring up all your photos, all your documents, all your audio, all your video. Remembering that documents, as I said, relates to file type, not what is actually in the document as such. So my documents here are images or photos rather than documents. I can bring up those other ones of tagged and not tagged, remembering that this is all related to the people in the photos. Date and no date, location, no location. Description and no description are the two that we didn't have a button over here to do. So if I look at things that have a description and apply that filter, most of mine do because of the way I'm doing this. So if I bring up this certificate, for example, which I also found in a secondhand shop, this is the description that I've written. So there's a description and then there's a transcription of the most important information in this certificate. So you can look at that and see what has descriptions and what doesn't have descriptions. And for some of us, it may be that, you know, early on we didn't put descriptions on some of the things. We uploaded a photo. Maybe, for example, as I said, you're out with someone, you're scanning as many photos as you can as quickly as possible, and later on you need to come and add a description to them. So good way of finding the ones you've added with and without descriptions. And then the last section is category. So it's the type of item that you have. So are they photos? Are they documents? Is it a birth certificate, marriage certificate, etc.? And that area there, again, comes from when you're looking at a photo, this here, where if I edit it, I can see that same list here as well. So that's the category in which you place that. So I've put this one in a portrait family photo because that's the family photo option that is there at the moment. I don't need to save it because it's the same as I actually had it. But if I changed it, that's where I could go and change that to what I want it to be. So I can go through and I can quickly filter by show me all of the birth certificates I've got in my file, for example. I haven't got any in this case, but I could use exactly what I'm showing you there as a filter to find things as well. So that's the filters. And then the last one I wanted to show you is this organize your people. And what this brings up to me is it goes through and it finds all the people in my gallery. In this case, here are the unknown people. So this is to organize your untagged people. And I notice this is beta at this stage. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this in the future, because beta means it's something that's under development, is being tested, for example. So in this case, it's wanting me to look at these 10 faces and identify them. And as I said, these have all come out of my men's group of men photo. And a lot of them don't have full names on them. So a little bit more work to be done. Ideally, find someone who's actually got one of the people that is in the photo. Hopefully someone will locate this photo and add it to their tree, and then maybe they will be able to help me identify who some of these other people are, because at this stage, they're a bit of a mystery waiting to be found, and hopefully one day we'll solve it. So get into your gallery, have a bit of a look, play with all those filters, look and see what you can find, and really enjoy what you can add to that gallery.